I was in a secret relationship with Ryan Miller for 3 years, secretly using family funds to make him a hot rising star in the entertainment industry. But he hooked up with an A-list actress, then slandered me as a crazy stalker. Fans blinded by him hated me intensely, hitting the gas and running me over on my way home. After I was reborn, I decided to pull all my investments and stay completely away from him. 5 years passed. Using his knowledge from the previous life and leveraging the resources of award-winning actress Ashley Taylor, he starred in countless hit films and reached the very top of the entertainment industry. At the corporate gala, Ryan Miller arrived conspicuously with Ashley Taylor, drawing envious stares from the entire crowd. Seeing me alone and looking a mess in the corner, he couldn't resist coming over to taunt me. "Sophia Song, seeing how successful I am now, you must be grinding your back teeth, huh? Too bad there's no undo button in this world." I didn't say anything, just pulled the A-list actor/superstar actor Alexander Reed, Alex, standing beside me and kissed him right there in front of everyone. The lights shimmered, making Ryan Miller's face turn pale. "Sophia Song, how could you fall in love with another man?" After parting ways with Ryan Miller, I didn't want to waste the experience I'd gained struggling in the entertainment industry in my past life, so I simply took over the family's entertainment business. Occasionally, when I was bored, I'd use my status as a backer/patron to act as an extra in a production. Just now, I'd come straight from the film set, and before I even had a chance to change out of my costume, my driver took me to the ballroom for the gala. After playing a nanny role all day, I was dizzy with hunger, so I skipped changing altogether and hid in a corner to eat my fill. I completely missed Ryan Miller walking over with Ashley Taylor, surrounded like they were the center of the universe. Ryan Miller has only been in the industry a few years, but he won 3 awards at the film festival this time. He's practically a legend in the domestic entertainment industry. You bet. Ryan Miller's name has been trending non-stop for 3 whole months. You can't get him off the hot searches. That's nothing. As far as I know, the international brands interested in collaborating with Ryan Miller this year alone are more than 2 hands can count. I can't even imagine how much wealth that is. If Ryan Miller just lets a little slip through his fingers, it'd be enough for the people below him to live comfortably for years. Ryan Miller was used to such scenes, but he was young after all, and his lips couldn't help but curl up. Just then, some media subtly hinted at gossip. "Ryan Miller and Ashley Taylor's relationship is so stable. When are you planning to go public with relationship announcement about the wedding?" Ryan Miller shrugged dramatically and pouted, "That's not up to me. You'll have to ask Ashley Taylor when she's willing to marry me." This one sentence gave Ashley Taylor plenty of face and made her giggle flirtatiously. Okay, we'll definitely inform everyone the moment the date is set." "Oh, Ryan, isn't that your girlfriend from back then?" Ashley Taylor spotted me with her sharp eyes, and everyone, sniffing out gossip, turned to look at me. "I heard Ryan Miller had a first love before he debuted, but she was materialistic and broke up with him when he was at his lowest point. So that's her." That kind of superficial woman surely never expected Ryan Miller to become this famous when she broke up with him. She must be green with regret. That's why Ashley Taylor is the one with foresight. She spotted Ryan Miller as a potential stalk early on. Ryan Miller smirked proudly, raising an eyebrow. Ashley Taylor forced down her inner smugness and replied with a smile, Okay, that's all in the past. It's understandable that a young woman only wants to enjoy the benefits and not endure hardship. There's no need to be harsh on her." Her words sounded gentle and generous, but the look she cast at me was venomous and spiteful. The people around us sized me up, some pinching their noses. "This shabby woman is Ryan Miller's ex-girlfriend? Look at her outfit, what's the difference between that and a nanny's uniform? I can smell her from here." This is the corporate gala of Metropolis's prominent family/leading family. How can just any random person get in? What's security doing? She must be one of the cleaners here. Maybe she heard Ryan Miller was coming and snuck in to take a look. I put down the half-eaten pastry in my hand and smiled, nodding towards Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller saw no hint of embarrassment on my face and scoffed with annoyance. "Sophia Song, did you break up with me so abruptly because you were rushing to become a cleaner here?" As soon as Ryan Miller finished speaking, another round of laughter erupted. Everyone was waiting to see me utterly mortified and running away in shame, but I didn't take it to heart at all, maintaining a polite, faint smile. "Sophia Song, have you no shame? If I were you, I'd turn around and leave right now." Ryan Miller felt the frustrating powerlessness of hitting a cotton ball and couldn't help but get angry. Ashley Taylor grabbed his arm and soothed in a sweet voice, "All right, Ryan, don't get upset. She's already suffering, kicking herself for losing you. Why embarrass her publicly?" Saying this, she feigned reaching for my hand. "Sophia, is it? Don't blame Ryan. After all, leaving him like that back then must have hurt his pride. However, Ryan is right about one thing. Cleaning isn't really suitable for a young woman like you. A woman's hands are her second face, and look, yours are rougher than some guys. Besides, how much can you possibly earn working yourself to death for a month? It's really not worth it. Why don't you just swallow your pride and apologize to Ryan? If he's feeling generous, he might give you a tip of 100 or a couple 100,000. That's more than you could earn in half a lifetime of hard work." Ashley Taylor spoke with seemingly good intentions, but her eyes were secretly observing Ryan Miller, and seeing his pleased expression, she secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Ryan Miller arrogantly tilted his chin slightly, took a check from his pocket, and dangled it in front of me. "Since Ashley is willing to give you a hand, Sophia Song, apologize to me for what happened back then, say you regret it, and this 1 million is yours." I stared at Ryan Miller in disbelief, unable to fathom how he had the nerve to demand an apology from me. The year I met Ryan Miller, I was concealing my identity while interning at the corporation's entertainment subsidiary. At that time, he was just starting in the entertainment industry, full of ambition, but struggling to achieve his goals and incredibly proud, disdaining the capital operations of the fame and fortune world. "Sophia, I despise those pretty boys who rely on backers/patrons to get ahead. What's the difference between their actions and a gigolo?" I had intended to use my family resources to help him, but the scorn and disdain in his words made me swallow the words I was about to say. I only dared to invest in him secretly. Afraid of affecting his career, I endured the grievance of our secret relationship for 3 years, finally making him a rising star in the industry. I had planned to reveal my identity to him, but on the day he won the Newcomer Award, he publicly hugged Ashley Taylor and went public, with relationship announcement, with her. He just sent me a breakup text, wiping away our 3 years together. I used many connections to track him down at his new place to confront him, but he laughed cruelly. "Sophia Song, you have the nerve to ask me why I broke up with you. Why don't you ask yourself first? Ashley, she can give the influence/marketability, help me win awards, introduce me to major backers/patrons. What can a mere employee like you do for me?" I was left speechless by his question. His self-righteous attitude seemed to have completely forgotten that he himself had said he would climb to the top step by step on his own. Later, fearing I would pester him, he didn't hesitate to slander me as a crazy stalker, ultimately leading to my tragic death under his fans' car wheels. After rebirth, I didn't hesitate for a second and completely cut ties with him, and he didn't say a single word to make me stay. It was only a week later when I saw the news of his new project starting on the hot searches that I realized he had also been reborn. I didn't understand. He had achieved a height in just 5 years that others could barely reach in a lifetime, reaping all the benefits. Why did he still need to portray himself as a victim and publicly force me to apologize to him? My hand slowly reached for the check, and under the shocked gazes of the crowd, I stuffed it back into Ryan Miller's pocket. "It's not easy for you to earn money. You should keep it to buy yourself some supplements." I cast a suggestive glance at his waist area, and Ryan Miller's face flushed instantly. Although Ryan Miller had gained fame over the years, he also had plenty of private scandals and was often photographed shopping with rich women. Although he would always explain it as necessary business socializing, everyone knew the real reason, but no one had ever dared to point out his weakness to his face. I was the first. The onlookers held their breath, awkwardly holding their drinks and frozen in place. "You stinky cleaner, what do you mean? I was trying to help you with your living difficulties out of the goodness of my heart, and you're acting so stuck up." Ryan Miller couldn't help but curse loudly. I still wore my polite smile. "Don't misunderstand. I was just concerned about your health, nothing else." And Miller was stumped, his face turning ugly as he stood there. Ashley Taylor's eyes darted around, and she spoke loudly to the surrounding crowd. "Since Miss Song insists on refusing Ryan's kindness, we won't force her." But after all, they were former lovers, and Ryan ultimately can't bear to see her doing such hard, tiring work. "Does anyone in your film set still need an extra? Perhaps you could prioritize Miss Song. Although it's hard work, she'll earn more than cleaning. You can consider it a good deed." Ashley Taylor looked sincere, but before she finished speaking, someone spoke mockingly. "Ashley Taylor, you know that not just anyone can be an extra. Even with limited screen time, you still need to look presentable. Someone like Ms. Song, well, it's a bit difficult. The person paused, looking hesitant, causing a wave of laughter. However, my team does need someone for the role of a slut. I just don't know if Ms. Song would be willing. After this was said, another burst of thunderous laughter erupted. I chuckled softly and put down my glass. Thank you all for your kind intentions. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a cleaner. At least I'm supporting myself with my own 2 hands. Tisk, she's putting on airs again. We're trying to arrange a job for her out of concern, and she's not appreciating it. Someone in the crowd scoffed disdainfully. Exactly. I think she's just being stubborn and trying to save face. She's refusing now, but who knows how she'll be begging us for contact information after the gala. I think that point is actually quite close to the character description, isn't it? Saying no with her mouth, but her body is very honest. Before I could refuse, Ryan Miller walked up to me, looking displeased. Sophia Song, you've fallen this low. Who are you trying to look down on with that arrogant attitude? Go, change your clothes and show the directors if you can act. His tone was unquestionable, as if he were true. Ly looking out for me. No need. I politely refused, but a young director nearby directly grabbed my arm and pushed me towards the changing room. Alright, Ms. Song, you're taking this act too far. If you ask me, you've got a pretty good figure. Maybe you could even be a supporting character in an adult film. I felt the big hand behind me straying downwards restlessly. Alert, I quickly slapped it away. What are you doing? I glared at him directly. The man, foiled in his attempt to grope me, instantly became furious. He grabbed the collar of my dress with one hand and raised the other high, ready to slap me. You slut! It's an honor for me to touch you, you ungrateful wretch. I instinctively closed my eyes, but the slap unexpectedly didn't land. Ryan Miller's hand tightly gripped his wrist. Alright, Director Davis, just give me some face. His action truly surprised me. He should have wanted me to be humiliated in public, so why would he be kind enough to help me? Ashley Taylor saw Ryan Miller publicly defending me, a hint of malice flashing in her eyes, but quickly she pointed at my neck and gasped. Look, the necklace on her neck, isn't that Alexander Reed, Alex, S? For hearing Ashley Taylor mention Alexander Reed, Alex, the most mysterious figure in the entertainment industry, all eyes in the ballroom focused on me. Only then did I realize that during the struggle, the necklace hidden under my clothes had been exposed. I calmly adjusted my collar, but Ashley Taylor abruptly pulled the necklace off, making me gasp. She examined the necklace in her hand carefully, inside and out, then held it up with certainty. I guarantee, I'm not mistaken. This is the one Alexander Reed, Alex, never takes off. She wasn't mistaken. It was indeed given to me by Alexander Reed, Alex. But did she need to react so dramatically? I blinked, about to reach for it, when I heard someone in the crowd yell out a question. You're just a stinky cleaner, how did you get Alexander Reed, Alex, S necklace? Be honest, did you steal it? I was wondering earlier why Alexander Reed, Alex, was on the guest list for today's event and should have appeared by now, but I asked the staff just now, and they said Alexander Reed, Alex, seemed to be looking for something. That's right, it must be this stinky cleaner who stole Alexander Reed, Alex, S necklace. No wonder she didn't care about the check Ryan Miller offered or the job we tried to arrange for her. Turns out she already hit the jackpot. They were all so sure, acting as if they could sentence me to death on the spot. Everyone. I cleared my throat. Is it possible that this is simply mine, and it just happens to be a similar style to the one you're talking about belonging to Alexander Reed, Alex? I tried to explain, but they reacted as if they'd heard a joke. Yours? And it's a similar style? Ashley Taylor seized on my words as if she had caught me red-handed, her voice suddenly rising several octaves. Ignorant thing. The jade embedded in Alexander Reed, Alex, S necklace is a world-renowned treasure auctioned at Christie's in New York 5 years ago, worth $200 million US. Jade of this quality, let alone being a similar style, you couldn't even fake it. You stinky cleaner, your lies are full of holes. I was genuinely surprised that the necklace was so expensive. Ashley Taylor did have some knowledge, but what she didn't know was that Alexander Reed, Alex, had actually bought 2 pieces of jade at the auction. He gave me the one with the best quality, and the one he wore himself was slightly inferior. Whether you believe it or not, the fact is, this is mine. Please give it back. I held out my hand to Ashley Taylor with dignity, but the young director who had tried to grope me just now grabbed my arm. You're still lying when the evidence is right in front of you. You reacted so strongly when I touched you just now. You must be hiding something else on you. Let Me search you. Without another word, he reached out to touch me, his expression disgustingly lewd. The onlookers all wore expressions of schadenfreude, and some even cheered him on. Stop it. What right do you have to search me? I forcefully pulled away from him and shouted sharply. He doesn't have the right, but the police do. I'm calling the police right now. The amount stolen is huge, you can look forward to spending time in jail. Ashley Taylor held the necklace high above her head while reaching for her phone, but Ryan Miller stopped her. Ryan Miller looked at me with a complicated expression and said in a low voice, Sophia Song, you really won't admit it until you're faced with the consequences. Is it that hard to tell the truth? I wanted to cry. I was telling the truth. Instead, I couldn't understand their actions at all. What benefit could they possibly gain by framing me with a baseless crime? Ryan, there's no use protecting her now. Her mistake is too outrageous. She must face legal consequences to learn her lesson. Ashley Taylor bit her lower lip. Even though Ryan Miller's reaction annoyed her, she still persuaded him gently. The people around them who had been supporting them also became agitated. Just then, the ballroom doors opened, and a tall, imposing man with a distinguished air walked in, escorted by 2 rows of black-suited bodyguards. All the lights converged on his feet, as if a deity had descended. Someone couldn't help but shout excitedly, "It's Alexander Reed, Alex!" The crowd that had been surrounding Ryan Miller and Ashley Taylor moments before now all rushed towards Alexander Reed, Alex. Ryan Miller lowered his voice and nudged me. Sophia Song, you stole something so valuable. Alexander Reed, Alex, won't let you off. You should quickly admit your mistake, and I'll say a few good words for you. I'm sure he'll show me some respect. I ignored him and just turned to look at the man in the crowd. He impatiently pushed aside the people in front of him until he noticed my presence. His gaze softened, and he walked straight towards me. He took off his sunglasses, wrinkled his nose, and looked at me affectionately with his captivating peach blossom eyes. Sophia, you said we'd come together, why didn't you wait for me? I've been looking for you for so long. You haven't been good. I'll have to punish you. Kiss me. I lowered my gaze and smiled faintly, reaching out to loop my arms around his neck and gently kissing his cheek. He wasn't satisfied and blinked at me, pointing a long finger at his lips. No, here. This scoundrel, I could never resist him. So, under the surprised gazes of the crowd, I kissed him. The flashbulbs popped incessantly, making Ryan Miller's face turn deathly pale. Sophia Song, when did you hook up with Alexander Reed, Alex? So, this is why you rejected me again and again? 5 The onlookers were frozen in place by the public display of affection between Alexander Reed, Alex, and me. After a long while, Alexander Reed, Alex, finally lifted his head, satisfied, looked at the crowd, and smiled charmingly. Let me introduce you, this is my fiancée, Miss Sophia Song. Everyone gasped in unison. Those who had been particularly targeting me were now trembling nervously, practically burying their heads in their necks. Didn't you guys say she was a cleaner? How could Alexander Reed, Alex, kiss her publicly? Does he have strange tastes? I never said she was a cleaner. Look at Alexander Reed, Alex's attitude towards her. This woman's identity must be extraordinary. We're finished. I didn't plan to dwell on them too much. After all, my attire today didn't reveal my true standing. Ashley Taylor's mouth twitched, her eyes filled with jealousy and resentment. First Ryan Miller, and now Alexander Reed, Alex? Why did Sophia Song get all the good men? She put on her signature charming smile and tried to lean towards Alexander Reed, Alex, but he expertly dodged her. Alexander Reed, Alex, ignored Ashley Taylor's blatant attempts at seduction and pulled me towards the VIP area. But a righteous and steady voice echoed from outside the doors. Who called the police? Instantly, everyone fell silent and looked at Ashley Taylor. 2 police officers walked straight towards her. Ashley Taylor, who had planned to nail me to the pillar of shame and had secretly called the police without telling Ryan Miller, now wished she could hit herself with a stick and faint. Facing the police's questions, Ashley Taylor stammered and stumbled over her words. Instead, I explained the situation to the police. Excuse me, officers, it was just a misunderstanding. Sorry for the trouble. After seeing the police off, Alexander Reed, Alex's eyes were fixed on my neck, full of heartache. Seeing him look at me like that, I realized that when Ashley Taylor had pulled so hard earlier, she had left a red mark on my neck. It didn't hurt much, but it was very noticeable. Noticeable enough to make Alexander Reed, Alex's heart ache repeatedly. He narrowed his eyes slightly, glancing at Ashley Taylor, an aura of danger surrounding him. You did this? Ashley Taylor felt the pressure emanating from him and could barely speak, her face deathly pale, biting her lower lip tightly. I'm sorry. I didn't understand the situation. The item? Hand it over. Alexander Reed, Alex, growled in a low voice. Ashley Taylor shivered with fear and immediately obediently presented the necklace she had been holding behind her with both hands. Ashley Taylor's frightened reaction wasn't surprising. After all, Alexander Reed, Alex, had been in the entertainment industry for many years and was known for his mystery. Rumor had it that anyone who offended him mysteriously disappeared. Alexander Reed, Alex, took the necklace, took out the handkerchief from his shirt, and carefully wiped it clean inch by inch before putting it back on me himself. Dummy, the item I gave you was snatched by someone else. It seems I'll have to follow you around constantly from now on. Alexander Reed, Alex, puffed out his cheeks playfully and ruffled my hair, then noticed Ryan Miller standing behind me with a complex expression. Are you Sophia's blind ex? Keep your girlfriend in line. If there's a next time, I don't mind making you two a pair of desperate lovers. Ryan Miller's gaze darted back and forth between Alexander Reed, Alex, and me, trying to find a flaw, but finally, he lowered his eyes powerlessly. Sophia Song, you said you would only ever love me. How could you love someone else? You're lying to me, right? Alexander Reed, Alex, is just acting along with you, right? Answer me. Ryan Miller was in utter breakdown, disbelief, and finally, deep powerlessness. Ryan Miller, there's nothing between us anymore. Why can't I love someone else? I love Alexander Reed, Alex. Very much. After speaking, I pulled Alexander Reed, Alex, and turned to leave, but he grabbed the corner of my dress tightly. Sophia Song, what kind of person is Alexander Reed, Alex? He's a man at the peak of the fame and fortune world. What kind of woman can't he get? How much sincerity can he possibly have for you? He's probably just tired of fine dining and is trying something new. When he gets tired of you, you'll have to go back to being the Cinderella who's nothing. 6. I frowned with displeasure. Alexander Reed, Alex, turned back before I did, his gaze sharply directed at Ryan Miller. Ignorant thing. Is it possible that I'm the one clinging to her, afraid she'll change her mind and leave me? Ryan Miller was startled for a moment, then sneered. Sophia Song is just an ordinary employee, someone you'd lose in a crowd. How could you possibly be genuinely interested in her? His look of disdain made me feel a pang of sadness. After all, we had been together once. How could he think so poorly of me? Eyesore. Alexander Reed, Alex, rolled his eyes, about to introduce me to everyone. A plump middle-aged woman rushed into the ballroom, bowing and scraping to Alexander Reed, Alex, the moment she entered, then grabbing Ryan Miller's arm. You idiot. The moment I'm not by your side, you cause trouble. What kind of person is Alexander Reed, Alex? How dare you yell at him? Do you want to ruin your career? She was Barbara Jones, the head of Ryan Miller's agency. A prominent figure in the industry, yet at this moment, she was trembling like an ant. Ryan Miller twisted his body to break free and adjusted his jacket indignantly. Calling him an A-list actor/superstar actor, and he really thinks he's somebody? In the end, isn't he just an actor who relies on his looks? If he were truly capable, would he be interested in a woman like this? Barbara Jones, reminded by his words, finally saw me beside Alexander Reed, Alex, her pupils contracting in shock. Without a word, she slapped Ryan Miller, then bent down and shuffled towards me, calling out respectfully, Chairwoman Song, my subordinate was foolish and offended you. Ryan Miller was publicly humiliated, covering his face with tearful red eyes, but seeing Barbara Jones, who was always so arrogant, being so deferential to Sophia Song, his confusion deepened. What Chairwoman Song? She's just a nobody, who knows how she hooked up with Alexander Reed, Alex, and thinks she can marry into money. Slap. Another red palm print appeared on Ryan Miller's face. This time, Barbara Jones had used all her strength. Shut up. If you spout any more nonsense, everyone in our company will be out of a job. Apologize to Chairwoman Song immediately. Ashley Taylor stepped forward, attempting to ease the tense atmosphere. Barbara Jones, Ryan is not entirely wrong. Sophia Song was materialistic back then and abandoned him when he was at his lowest. It's understandable he's resentful asking him to apologize to a woman like that in front of so many people. You shut your mouth. Barbara Jones looked at the two idiots in front of her, practically wanting to cover their mouths herself. This is the chair of the corporation/head of the family of the Song Corporation. Barbara Jones finished speaking, then knelt down in front of me with a thump, her face full of apology. I'm sorry, Chairwoman Song. It's my fault for not managing my subordinates properly. Please be magnanimous and don't hold it against them. The Song Corporation. Metropolis's prominent family/leading family. Everyone present was completely dumbfounded. The Song Corporation was the most powerful prominent family/leading family in Metropolis. They had interests in virtually every industry. In the entertainment industry, they could cause an earthquake with just a stomp of their foot. A-list actor/superstar actor like Alexander Reed, Alex, had been groomed by the Song Corporation. Even today's gala was hosted by the Song Corporation. Every inch of ground they stood on, everything they saw, belonged to the Song Corporation. And they had just insulted and bullied the chair of the corporation/head of the family of the Song Corporation on the Song Corporation's own territory. Everyone present felt like they were finished. It was all the fault of those two idiots, Ryan Miller and Ashley Taylor. 7-inch get up. I have no intention of pursuing the matter with them, I said calmly. The farce had gone on long enough, and I was truly tired. I looked up at Alexander Reed. Alex, I'm tired. Seeing the fatigue on my face, Alexander Reed, Alex, tenderly scooped me up in his arms and strode out. As we passed Ryan Miller, I faintly heard him sigh. The people behind us, seeing that I indeed wasn't going to hold them accountable, finally breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, that scared me to death. I almost thought I was going to be ruined for life just now. Yeah, who would have thought? That inconspicuous woman is actually the chair of the corporation/he. Out of the family of the Song Corporation. Even Alexander Reed, Alex, is willingly doting on her. It's hilarious that that idiot Ryan Miller didn't even know he had such an amazing ex-girlfriend. Exactly. He just insulted her with a mere $100,000, completely unaware of her status. It's a total joke. Ashley Taylor too, she condescendingly tried to arrange work as an extra for her, but the woman is actually the backer/patron of an A-list actor/superstar actor, and she accused her of stealing. How ironic. Looks like their careers are over after this. I buried my face in Alexander Reed, Alex's chest, shutting out the chatter behind me. As I was about to close the car door after getting in, Ryan Miller reached out and stopped me. I paused for a moment, gave Alexander Reed, Alex, a look, and he immediately understood, pulling the driver aside to wait for me. Ryan Miller leaned down, his eyes filled with complex emotions. Sophia Song, neither in our past life nor in this one, did you truly love me, did you? Otherwise, why would you hide your real identity from me? How is Alexander Reed, Alex, better than me in any way? Why does he get the full support of the Song Corporation, while you just watched me struggle and suffer rejection? Seeing his face full of resentment and confusion, I couldn't help but laugh. How do you know I didn't help you? Ryan Miller, do you think too highly of yourself? Without my help in the past life, how could you, someone without formal training, get so many good scripts? Have you forgotten? You were the one who said you despised pretty boys who relied on backers/patrons and capital to get ahead. You said that kind of behavior was no different from a gigolo. Where did your former pride and backbone go? Or were you a hypocrite from the very beginning? We were together for 3 years. When you were frustrated and unsuccessful, I shared your pain. However many nights you stayed up, I stayed up with you. The clock hit 3 a.m. countless times. I don't believe I ever did anything to wrong you. But how did you treat me? You abandoned me like an old shoe the moment you latched onto Ashley Taylor. You deliberately leaked information to the reporters, saying I was a crazy stalker, which led to your fans hitting me with their car and killing me. Ryan Miller's expression shifted from initial resentment to agony, regret, and finally, pure astonishment. What are you talking about? When did I ever say you were a stalker? So, in the past life, your accident happened because of that? Now it was my turn to be stunned, wasn't it? Ryan Miller shook his head with a bitter smile. Sophia Song, do you really think I'm that cruel? I admit breaking up with you back then was wrong, but we did love each other for 3 years. How could I possibly bear to watch you die? It wasn't him. Then there was only one other person. Ashley Taylor. Forget it. It was a matter from a past life, and I didn't want to dwell on it anymore. So, you thought I was the one who killed you, and that's why you broke up with me the moment you were reborn, determined to stay away from me, right? 8. He was right. After being reborn, I couldn't wait to be rid of him forever. After returning to the corporation, by chance, I met Alexander Reed, Alex, downstairs, feeding stray cats. At that time, he was already a big star who had won all the newcomer awards. I remembered that in my past life, when the media exposed me as a stalker and I became the target of online attacks, he was the only one who said something in my defense. Remembering that small kindness, I, as if possessed, walked up and squatted in front of him, asking, "Want to get even more famous?" He paused, then curled his lips in a playful smile. "What? Want to be my backer/patron?" We naturally started a relationship. All the Song Corporation's resources were at his disposal, and he was talented, becoming an A-list actor/superstar act or in just a few years. But despite the dazzling world around us, the look in his eyes when he looked at me was always as clear as when we first met. After listening to my experiences over the years, Ryan Miller's eyes were red-rimmed. "Sophia Song, if I said I still love you, would you be willing to try again with me?" I burst out laughing softly and slowly shook my head. "No. Ryan Miller, what was between us ended in the last life. I don't love you anymore. I love Alexander Reed, Alex." My gaze was firm. Ryan Miller could see that the words came from the heart. The hopeful light in his eyes instantly dimmed. "But I really do still love you." His sudden display of deep affection confused me. If he loved me, why did he break up with me without hesitation? What he loved was probably my current status. He was the same as before, always saying one thing while feeling another. He had countless desires and cravings inside, but was too shy to speak them, unable to face them directly. I didn't respond again and closed the car door firmly. Alexander Reed, Alex, got in the car and told the driver to start. He didn't say anything, just instinctively pulled me into his arms. With him, I could always completely relax. His love was like a gentle stream, clear and tender, just like him, open and straightforward. Everything that happened at the gala was suppressed at the Song Corporation's instruction. Not a single photo was leaked. But everyone in the industry knew that Ryan Miller and Ashley Taylor had offended the Song Corporation. Even if they weren't deliberately targeted, those trying to curry favor with the Song Corporation were bound to show where they stood. Overnight, all brands that had been in contact with Ryan Miller withdrew their offers, and several international endorsements under contract also issued statements terminating their agreements. Negative press and rumors flooded the internet. Some were baseless fabrications, saying he had terrible personal character and a chaotic private life. Ashley Taylor wasn't doing much better, even being exposed for a backing/patron scandal, her reputation ruined. She was furious and blamed everything on Ryan Miller. "It's all your fault. You made Sophia Song angry at me. Go beg her for forgiveness. You were together, she wouldn't wish death upon someone." Ryan Miller knew his career was over. He hadn't cherished what he had and had brought it upon himself. He surrendered. He desperately wanted to see Sophia Song, but not to defend himself or beg. He wanted to tell her everything he hadn't said that night. Unfortunately, fate didn't give him the chance. The moment he walked out, he was surrounded by black fans waiting outside. They started pelting him with eggs and vegetables. In the struggle, he accidentally stumbled and was hit by a speeding car. I saw Ryan Miller again in the ICU. The doctor said that when he regained consciousness, he kept calling my name. In just a few days, he had completely changed. His originally handsome face had become gaunt and sunken from the rapid weight loss due to his severe injuries, and dark circles under his eyes showed exhaustion. Seeing me, his eyes suddenly lit up. "Sophia, I knew you still cared, didn't you? I regret it. It was foolish of me to break up with you for Ashley Taylor's resources. I was a jerk. Scold me, hit me, just please forgive me." I turned my face away, unwilling to see him so pathetic and humble. "Ryan Miller, live well from now on, forget about the past. Look forward. You still have a long life ahead." Before I could finish speaking, accompanied by a scream and a muffled cry, I was forcefully pushed aside by Ryan Miller. I looked back and saw that Ashley Taylor had somehow gotten in. The fruit knife in her hand was deeply embedded in Ryan Miller's waist, and blood instantly seeped out, staining the bed sheet. "Sophia Song, it's all your fault. Go to hell." Ashley Taylor struggled to get up and tried to lunge towards me, but Ryan Miller desperately held her back. Doctors and nurses heard the commotion and rushed in frantically. Seeing her plan thwarted, Ashley Taylor collapsed onto the floor, looking distraught. I took a deep look at Ryan Miller. I hadn't expected him to save me without hesitation in that critical moment. "Thank you." Besides thank you, I had nothing else to say. Ashley Taylor was taken away by the police. In both lives, she had tried to kill me. Even if I had wanted to let her off, the law would not condone her actions. When I got home, Alexander Reed, Alex, opened his arms and pulled me deeply into his embrace. I smiled and hugged him back tightly. Ryan Miller was out of danger. After being discharged, he booked a flight and moved abroad to live in seclusion. The debts he owed due to contract breaches were all repaid by the Song Corporation, as a way of repaying him for saving my life. From then on, he and I were like two parallel lines that briefly intersected and tangled before each heading towards our own future.